everybody, and welcome to a Made in Japan segment. We are doing a playthrough of Revolver360 Reactor, and where you can buy this at is Playism.com, or more conveniently at Steam, which is definitely more convenient. And it goes for about $14.99, or even less if you catch it on a good sale. Anyways, this is a shooter, as always, but with a different mechanic, which is pretty cool, which you can revolve around a 360 axis, which makes a strategy way more interesting in how you actually deal with enemies and whatnot. So you have the reactor setting, which is pretty much a story mode. You go through many stages until you die, no continues, so be it. Then sector dive is where you can actually revisit previous stages that you've done and, you know, try and build up your skill. And I think while we're at it, let me just turn it down a little bit, just because God knows it's going to be a little bit loud. So yeah, okay, that saved it, good. And then you have the challenges, which actually is pretty cool. You have at least 50 here. Very challenging, some of them could be. And it'll take you a couple tries to get through. But anyways, let's just dive into it and show off some of the gameplay until I eventually die. It will happen, so. But you have a foreground and a background, I guess, set of enemies that you could take care of. And the way you actually attack enemies in the background is that, well, pretty much you just get close to them while firing your weapon, and it will automatically home in on them. And this is actually taking advantage of the 360, rotation, in which you can actually line up either projectiles or the enemies in a more favorable position, which will make it a lot easier to take care of in the shortest amount of time possible. And you'll always want to pay attention to the guys in the background because, well, they can also shoot projectiles at you, so just always want to be sure of taking care of as many enemies as possible. Otherwise, well, you'll end up messing you up pretty badly. Just to put it simply, I guess. So, as it is, you have your enemies here that you're taking care of, and you will find some, objects that show up in like a blue outline, which indicate that they are actually items that you can pick up, such as repairs or a stronger laser, or an overdrive, which I will show off rather soon. And let's see, there are different projectiles that you notice here. The yellow ones can be destroyed with a laser. Then there are purple and blue ones, which can't be easily avoided, but the blue ones can be manipulated by changing the axis, or the rotation. The purple ones cannot, though. So keep that in mind as you're playing, because you might get caught off guard by that if you're not careful. And the soundtrack to this game is actually really nice. I'm loving it so far. And in this particular segment, you actually want to watch out for a, I guess, mid-level boss. Mid-boss, we'll call it. And these guys, you always want to be careful of because, well, for obvious reasons. I guess for the most part, just enjoy the ride here as I hopefully do this game some justice. Not making any promises, but as you can see, one of those projectiles, normally they would pretty much mess you up, but thanks to our ability to rotate, it becomes a lot easier. Now, for our overdrive, as you just see, it totally obliterates any projectile that might be on the screen. So it's a great saver if you're ever in a pinch. If we're taking care of all these enemies, always take advantage of that rotation. Part of the whole key to this game, let's say. And for score bonuses, pretty much you can wait until there's a whole lot of these projectiles on screen and then just shoot them with a laser. That's how you build up your bonus meter. or at least the point modifier, let's call it. Now, what do we want to look? Let's see. What do I want to say next? So much to say, but God knows this thing is really taxing my attentiveness. As you see on the left, I guess we can talk about that. It will show you such things like other objects in the background that might be existing that you will have to be aware of and, you know, most preferably take care of. And this part, oh my God. All I can say in this segment, be very careful of the background here. Take care of those asteroids as much as possible. And there are a couple drops that actually come up. So you'll want to be very careful of that and take advantage of it, because you want to go into this upcoming boss fight with as much HP as possible. And of which, here it is. And I believe the meter on the bottom is actually the point modifier that I was talking about before. Right, so this part, you're going to be, well, of course, taking advantage of the whole rotating 360 angles and or degrees. Don't know why I'm mixing up my words here, but sure enough I am. But really, if you just take advantage of the overdrive, you can just laser this guy to death, and then he'll be dead in no time. And with that being said, is dead. Pretty much this formula is used throughout the whole game. You just have to really manipulate the whole rotational thing the best you can, and that being said, it should get you very far. But yeah, as you'll see in the little meter to the right there, or the left I should say, there are it indicates that there are things in the background that you might want to focus on. You know, it's wise words. And every so often during the stage, you'll get into certain situations in which, these guys, in which you want to choose left or right, or even sometimes up or down. And it kind of adds a little bit of, I don't know, a nice element of, you know, keeping the stage fresh. Because, you know, you're not just going through the stage the same way you did the first time around. And that's pretty nice. Give you a little bit of an option at least. Now this part. Now this one's just fun to see for, you know, just everything that happens. It's crazy. They have buildings falling all over the place, and yeah, this part is a little unique. I kind of handled it really badly, but sometimes it happens. Only so much you can really take on without losing your mind, I guess. At least that's me. That's just me. But yeah, here we go. Please let this be a repairman. Not a repairman, but, you know, a repair. I must say though, this whole thing really does make it really cool to play in terms of a, you know, shoot 'em up or shmup. It's, you know, it's not very often you get to play something like this where you're just rotating all over the place and, you know, you're just experiencing all the chaos just happening. It's pretty cool. It's definitely an adjustment if you're playing it for the first time, but pretty rewarding nonetheless. Well, I guess this will be the segment in which I kind of shut up and just try and concentrate, so, you know, there will be a lot of game for you guys to actually experience here. Definitely one game that I would recommend if there's something you want to try out in terms of shmups. And why not? Let's take the right path here. Oh, and that's why you don't stand right in the middle like that. Yeah, once you get used to this, it becomes really convenient. But I'm taking way too much damage, so this might come to an end. And there might be another one, am I right? Well, I know as we get towards the boss fight here, there's actually going to be some repairs that we can pick up here. So don't be too worried about losing a lot of HP. Oh, there we go. We just picked up a really badly needed repair there. Thank God. Oh no, this is going a lot rougher than my usual playthroughs of this. I don't know, maybe the fact that I'm actually being recorded this time, so there's a little bit more weight to it. It's like the urgency not to screw up. Let's go right, why not? And hopefully that's... What was that? I have like no idea what that was I picked up. That's a first though, right? 18 health, that's not boding well. Alright, so a pick-me-up. Please let there be a pick-me-up. Alright, don't lose your cool. Ow. Forgot about that, that's for sure. But here's 2 repairs, actually. Yes, there we go. I wish I had more health in this, but sometimes you just can't get what you want. I mean, ideally, you should get into this part with, like, at least, what? 100 HP? 100 energy, armor, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of a shame, I would say. So dead if I don't pick it up right here. Come on, come on. And we should go into the next segment here. Pretty soon, actually. Don't even know what I'm looking at this point. Oh, and I just barely beat that. Talk about luck. That was pretty badly played, I would say. Just comparatively speaking. And is there any drops around here? Possibly? Nothing. I'm gonna get gypped. That's a good way to build up the score. Alright, these guys, pretty easy to take on, you know. Well, that guy, he sucks. That guy's awful. Okay, and a badly needed repair. Alright, so not too bad. We're in good shape. Of course, I say that now. But yeah, the boss for this one can be kind of mean. Just from experience. Truth be told, I'm not sure how many levels there are in this game. I just know that this game is really fun. Really, really fun. Had me hooked for a while now. Alright, so... yeah, I'm starting to run a little empty on things to say here, unfortunately. guess something I can save. Oh my god. And game over because I was not paying attention there. Yeah, you go through that little tunnel there and it has all the fans and, well, you need to be shooting at them in order to actually survive it. But I did get pretty far in like previous runs, just of course not when I'm recording, so I guess with that being said, I'll leave the rest to you should you choose to play it. And thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you later.